Hello and welcome to Black Hair in the Big Leagues. I am your host, Salisha Thomas, and today I have got a pure ray of light, of sunshine as my guest today. If you were to draw a picture of what God's love, God's light looks like, it is who I'm bringing on today. We have an actress who made her, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, girl, who made her Broadway debut in Amelie, jumped in the original cast of Amelie, jumped on over to Book of Mormon, and is now slaying in TyNia on Broadway, and also is the co-creator of Bold. Welcome, Destinee Rea.
Oh, that is just such a sweet introduction. I'm so honored.
Girl, I'm truly honored to know you. Like, I feel like we met before either of us were on Broadway.
Yeah.
Like, when was that?
It was the Dreamgirls audition.
Oh.
For North Shore.
How do you remember that?
Yeah.
How do you remember that?
I know. Well, okay, so one, like, I remember I'm pretty good with people, like remembering the essence of a person and when I've met them. But two, that was one of those like Black women are incredible. Take a note that this is your heart comes alive in these settings, you know.
Oh,
And that was one of those moments. I remember Felicia Boswell and Rebecca Covington. And I don't know if Rebecca was married yet. And like,
no.
We sat after the audition for a solid hour just talking about relationships.
I do remember that. Was that when did we go to a coffee shop at some time, or was that a different?
That might have been a different one. I'm not sure though. I wouldn't
like literally. What did you did you already create Bold at that time, or did that come later?
That's a good question. We had our first brunch that May, and I think that production happened in like June, or actually no. We had our brunch and I think I left the next day for North Shore.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so freaking bomb. Like, y'all, if you don't know, and you can tell us about it, Destinee, like,
totally.
Bold is this, it's this beautiful, like, so many Black powerhouses, this network. Tell us about it. I mean,
totally. So I moved to the city to work for a nonprofit, doing leadership development and helping people transition from college to moving to a big city. And I quickly realized that I was more interested and really only interested in Black women, particularly the Black women that I was doing life with, because I had been giving so many resources through my org to navigate my identity and as an entrepreneur, as an artist, as a Black woman. And I wanted to make those available to other people and create community. And so I quickly met Tia DeShazer at a beautiful audition, and she had the same passion and a similar background as me. And so we created Bold because we both believe that Black women change the world. We are the people who change the world.
Like, it has grown so much since that. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see how, like, you know, a movement launches and people come on because they believe in it too. And
it's such a beautiful, like, when Black women can get together and lift each other up and support each other, it is a magical, it is, there's nothing like it.
There isn't. There actually isn't.
I remember I went to a Lion King audition, like within a year or two ago, and it was like the few of us that were at the end of it, there was like 6 to 10 of us left, and it was so encouraging. There was no competition. It was no like, well, I'm gonna get It was all like, girl, you look great in that mask. Oh yes, you are slaying this. I heard your audition. You sounded bomb. Like, it was just love, and I feel like that is what
that's how real that experience was. Like, I heard about
not in my head
special that audition was.
Just like, that is like the kind of atmosphere that you cultivate, and you're so good at bringing people together, Destinee, which is why I'm just so, like, I'm so excited to have you on and talk to you, because you're so special. You really are so special.
Thanks. I feel the same about you. So I'm so excited for this podcast.
So one of the things that I've thought about is like in general in the past, and like when I think about you, is like how, and I just mentioned this a little bit, how we knew each other before we'd been on Broadway,
Yeah.
and to see you launch into your first show, I was like, wow, original Broadway cast.
Yeah.
Wow. Like,
Crazy.
how was that?
Wild, actually. Um, because I don't know. I'm very creative, but I have the strategic part of myself that is very real and very alive. And I remember looking at what was coming up, what was currently playing, which this is something that I still do to help me. And you recognize, like, oh, there are only a certain amount of shows that I could easily pop into because you have to
Yeah.
be a Black woman to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are a couple of shows that, like, sometimes you could be Black, sometimes you can't. You never know what they're going to do.
Right.
A couple of those. And then that's it. And it helps me to be like, sis, become like, there's actually not work for you right now. So
Mm.
how can you channel that energy to do something else? So that's where I was in that winter of, I guess it was 2016.
Oh
And then
my
Amelie came
gosh.
up and I got the appointment and I was like, huh. And I had gone in for Sam Pinkleton for a Great Comet the day before. And then I came in for Amelie and I was like, I don't see at all how I fit into this show, but the material is so fun and I love this movie. So let's do it. And I kept getting appointments.
Okay. Okay.
And I was like,
Okay.
okay, cool. Let's keep going, And the atmosphere that Pam McKinnon and Sam Pinkleton created, and the whole team was just so welcoming and so like, let's try things. And that's what the entire experience was like. I popped in and, you know, I swung the show and I mean, I cried every day. And I remember
Oh.
them being like, it really isn't that sad. It's not a sad like, I identify with this so much. And I'm just so happy to be here. And it changed my life. It really did. And I'm grateful for it. And it is such a testament of um what is for you is sometimes
Is
beyond what you can even see. Because I had done
Speak on
all
it.
these calculations
Yep.
and never would imagine that this new show would come up and go to Broadway and I would be a part of it.
Oh,
So,
literally dreams coming true.
yeah.
It's such a beautiful thing to like to experience, and it's also a beautiful thing to witness.
Yeah.
So I'm like so excited. And okay, I'm just curious, like, because this is just me. I'm like, what is happening with the Tony Awards right now?
I wish I knew.
Wait, what? Like, you don't know?
I really wish I knew.
So I thought they were happening in October. No?
I don't know.
Because I
It's the
felt like if they
announcement that they made. Um, but everything has been so like no one knows anything. So there are
oh,
definitely, initiatives that are happening. And I think the hope from everyone is that they will happen. But we are living in a time where one day something could
yeah.
change and, you know.
Okay. Okay. Dang it. I was like, if anybody knows, it's gonna be
I
somebody from Tina.
I wish. And our producers are doing such a great job of keeping us in the loop and making sure that we have every information that we need, all the information that we need. But yeah, I don't know anything about the Tonys.
Okay. All right. So I don't feel totally like left out, because when we're in a Broadway show, being backstage, you hear people talking. You know what's going on, because it's everyone's talking about, whispering about whatever. And now it's like we're all in our own
Yes,
homes, scattered. It's like, what's going
totally.
on? You
Totally.
know.
I agree with
Um.
you. Yeah. It's
Okay. Well.
unfortunate. It's sad.
I No, I thought like even if it's happening remotely. But okay, I do want to talk about Tina and how it is for you as a Black woman in a show with other Black women.
Yeah.
How is it like, how in particular, like, how do they treat, like, how is it in the hair department?
Yeah.
Like, let's start there.
Totally. Absolutely. So, um, well, one great thing is that our head supervisor is Black. So Gio, who has worked with so many incredible people, both TV, film, and theater, it's just
Awesome.
it's amazing that he's Black, you know?
That's great.
And so he knows exactly what's going on. He knows how to make sure our wig, he knows that, somebody might come in with a protective style. So you need to figure out what their wig prep is. And like,
And he understands that.
yeah, yeah. So, and then
Oh,
his team, is not all Black. But like we have people like Monique who, if you don't follow Snatching Wigs, go follow Snatching Wigs.
come
She's
on.
incredible in our wig room. And it's so great to have her there as an advocate because Gio, of course, is the supervisor. So he's everywhere. And then you have people that are super knowledgeable. I'm dropping last names, but like Craig, who is the assistant supervisor. You have a team of people that Geo is over, that he is making sure that they have the knowledge necessary to make sure that
Good.
we're good. But of course, there's still predominantly white folk who don't have a background in taking care of my hair,
Yeah.
or even hair that is the type, that is a um, wigs that are based off of Black hair. And so there is definitely a learning curve.
Interesting.
And I'm grateful to have had conversations with, people in our wig room in this time that they have messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm going to school for this. What are things that I need to know? I'm aware that I miss this and it's important if I'm going to be a part
Oh,
of the show." So I'm looking forward
good.
to going back with everybody having gone back to the drawing board and like really thought about what they need to show up
Yeah.
there for
I
Black.
think that's kind of encouraging to
Yeah.
hear that that was a part of the conversation
Yeah.
before this pandemic.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I've seen you in the show.
Yeah.
Girl,
Sorry, I'm plugging my computer in. I forgot to do that.
you're okay.
Good.
You effing slay the heck out of. Okay, I was at one of those auditions for them iCats. And it was so hard. I almost passed out. And I feel like when it comes to cardio, I'm like, I'm unstoppable.
Yeah.
That is how I feel. I was dead by the end of that dance. You go on stage and you make it look like it's just breathing for you, Destinee.
Yeah.
It truly looks so easy for you. And I'm like, I know that's not easy. But like, you're flicking your hair, you're doing all these things. Like, how are your wigs staying on?
I know,
Does it
right?
feel to you healthy? Like just what is your experience with
Yeah.
that?
So I know I am a hard dancer. So I
Yes,
remember
you are.
my first professional gig doing hairspray at Theater Under the Stars. And oh gosh, I am just blanking on names, but who is our hair designer? John. Uh, can't think of his name.
It's okay.
Emmy award winning, incredible original wigs from Hairspray. And he was like, "Sis, you can't stop the beat. You need to bring it down a little bit because your wig has to stay on. Like you can't dance your wig off." And I was young and like, "Oh, okay," like, you only are thinking about yourself and like hitting the beat and like,
Right.
there's a bigger picture. And so, if he has pinned your wig in to the max and he knows the show, you might need to make some adjustments. So I say that because I have learned that over, the course of time and showing up in shows. And I'm grateful, like, obviously we don't have 20-pound wigs on our heads for this show. They're pretty
Yeah.
like, a little bob, a little, so I'm not doing anything crazy, but I had moments where I did dance a wig off, you know? And
Oh.
the whole question, so the thing with my hair too is, like, I have baby hair for days before my, like, my wig prep starts, and so what
Okay.
happens a lot for me is the pins don't have enough to grasp onto in the front, and so
Okay.
I still haven't quite figured out how to get what I need to make sure she's laid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, like, what this is all like, to me, this is even one of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast is
Yeah.
there's so much that I don't know about hair, and
Really?
I'm like and I love it. I love talking about it and learning about it,
Yeah.
but, like, I don't know, and literally talking to everybody, I'm, like, learning so much.
Right.
I'm like, "Girl, we are still young. Can you imagine if we figure it out, like, figure all of the hair things out, the Broadway wig things out,
Yeah.
everything, like,
So we
it
can do
just."
our best because there's so
Yes.
many things that you don't even think of,
Yeah.
especially as a performer going into a show. Um, I have been in shows where like for Amelie, I wore my own hair, so I didn't think
Okay.
about 8 shows a week, and I swung, so it wasn't always on. So, that is a different conversation, how to take care of your hair, your own hair, 8 shows a week. And
Right.
went into Mormon, I started wearing my own hair and then they wigged me. And so when I started, it was a whole nother, like, okay, I got to get used to my hair because I wear
Right.
extensions a lot. I do, like,
Yeah.
and then I
What was some of that prep for that?
yeah. So, when I was wearing my own hair, I obviously was like, okay, I have to get a fresh cut for this. And I'm a huge, like, I learned how to do a master wash and go from Hair Rules that, like, has
What is
lasted.
hair rules?
So Hair Rules is a salon owned by Dickie, and they have an LA boutique too, but it is a high-end natural hair salon on 54th and Ninth.
Oh,
And yeah, yeah. So, I went there and for the what got my first ever, like, natural hair salon experience from there, and it was life
nice.
changing to go into a salon and you're hearing Earth,
Yes.
Wind& and Fire and, like, Jasmine Sullivan, and there's all these Black women in there getting their hair done, and it's curly, and it was life changing for me. But they taught me how to do a wash and go, and I had never known how to do one.
Cool.
And so that's what I would do for Mormon. I would twice a week, I would get in the shower, I would shampoo, I would lather, lather, lather with so much water. I would condition, and I do everything in the shower. So I would take my holding gel. I either use theirs or I use Eco Styler, and I would just comb it through my hair and
Mm.
uh, come out, shake, 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 and go on with my day. And that's what I did for Mormon. I would sometimes use a diffuser, sometimes sit under the dryer, but if I had the day, I would let it air dry.
So my question then is for Amelie,
Yeah,
as a swing, not knowing when you were gonna go on,
I
how
know.
do you freaking like
Yeah. So
yeah.
right. So our hair designer for Amelie was Chuck, who is a
Yes.
master.
What's Chuck's
Mhm.
last name? Because Chuck is everywhere. Chuck is our hair guy at
Right.
Beautiful.
I don't be knowing the last name.
He's gonna be mad if he
You
hears this.
know?
I don't know why he would listen to this, but
Right.
like
I can remember at Essence, honey, but that name
Chuck, Chuck is everywhere. Chuck does everybody's okay.
everywhere.
Okay.
And he saved my life, actually. That's another story. So for Amelie, we came up with one style for everybody that I covered, which was like basically a high bun, unless
Okay.
it was on
Okay.
for one of the other roles, I would wear two buns, but it was pretty simple, nothing
Okay.
crazy.
You didn't have to like do 3 days of prep
No,
to
no,
no.
no, no. That
Okay.
show was very simple and, like, everything was like, "How can we make this, organic and raw?" So, like,
Yeah.
nothing was over the top. Pippa was
I
the
love that.
only person with a wig in the show.
Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about like and yeah, just your hair journey
Yeah,
and where you started, where you are now, how you feel, like
yeah.
how do you feel about all the things? Like all of the things, wigs, braids, your
Yeah.
own texture, whatever
Yeah.
you want to say.
Totally. So I grew up getting perms from a young age, and my mom does hair. She does braids, so she would braid everybody in the community's hair, including mine. So that's what
It's
I
awesome.
wore for most of my life. I was always in braids. And then of course I hit like high school, and I was like, and I should also preface it by saying I'm from Texas, and down south
Okay.
the weave game is a different thing. Um,
Okay.
and so I was like, once I hit high school, I was like, give me a sew-in. So I got a sew-in, and by the time I got to college, it had like gone from like a sew-in that was like to my shoulders to being down my butt. Um,
Of course, that's awesome.
yeah. So me and my best friend from high school went to college together, and she was natural. She didn't perm her hair. And she naturally had very, very long hair. We get to college, and I went to college right outside of Houston, and it's a totally different climate. It is humid.
Yeah.
And both of
Okay.
us were like, what is happening? Like, you have to have a perm here. Like, something's got to give. So I started
Interesting.
perming my hair, and slowly the natural movement started happening. And I was interested in it, one, because it cost a lot to drive home, get my hair done, and come back.
Yeah.
And I was wearing sew-in. So it was like, you might as well go natural. Like, why permit? So coincidentally, it aligned when I did the Colored Museum in college, my junior year, which I did not realize would take me on such a journey of discovering my identity as a Black woman, specifically because I had grew up in a predominantly white town. I was
Mm-mm.
the only Black girl in my musical theater program, so I
Yeah.
didn't have spaces that educated me on uh, or pushed me to discover my identity through my art. So I had, of course, grew up with a Black mama, and like, so I knew, but like, I had never experienced it coming alive through the vehicle in which uh, I'm most passionate about. So doing this show
Right.
and just going through George C. Wolfe's um, incredible work, I discovered so much about me. And I was like, I'm going to actually wear my natural hair now. And I
Okay.
remember my mom being like, what is happening? What are
Yeah.
you
My mom
doing?
still says that sometimes.
You know?
She's like, what are you doing?
So
California.
I went home after that show closed, and I actually watched The Secret Life of Bees and saw Alicia Keys' hair. And I told my mom, bring me some scissors. I want to cut my hair. And I just cut off all the permed ends
By yourself.
by myself. Hmm. And
How was
I was
that, by
like,
the way?
huh. Now, let me preface this by saying my mom does hair. So I knew that if I cut it,
Okay.
she could sew me up and I'd be in a
Okay.
weave and like be okay. But then I
Right.
transitioned to like not wearing straight weave at all. It was always curly because I was like, I want
Yeah.
something similar to
Yeah.
um, and back then, like I was always on a like shea butter, Cantu was out, um, just like trying to figure it out. And my mom was like, in the 70s, I would do, like trying to my mom still swears by Jared Curl juice. So like she's like, like get the spray they use when they have Jared Curl. So anyway,
Girl juice.
yeah. So, yeah, I started wearing my natural hair, and yeah, by the time I was a senior in high school and I did my showcase, I was rocking my little fro. And that was what I did. And it's funny, I haven't really talked about it now looking back. I'm like, I don't know what shifted. I think a lot of like I went through this like I don't care what people think phase, and like I want to wake up and put on what makes me feel good. And I think
Yeah.
because I was in a space where I had that freedom. I let go of a lot of stuff. I was going to pledge, I let that go. I like
Mm.
my idea of who I was going to be with changed, like because I think those things were making me feel like I had to uphold to some sort of beauty standard.
Mm.
And so I just was like, I'm going to be free. And that's what I did. And ever since, I've been rocking my natural hair ever since. And I actually just journeyed back into weaves when I booked Mormon. I was like, I've got to figure out like how to do this. So I started playing with clip-ins first.
Yeah.
And
Yes, I've definitely done those. Yeah.
which I love because you
Wait, curly hair clip-ins?
Mhm.
Did you like them?
Yes, I
I've not
did.
tried any. I've
Oh, I
not tried
love
curly
them.
hair clip-ins.
Oh, I love them. They were a game changer for me. Yeah,
Really?
because I feel like my hair's been in an awkward length for a long time, and I was just like, I need to. I don't like this length, and I
Mm.
went to the store and got some curly hair clip-ins, and
See
girl,
see, I wanna say that, like, okay, so I'm in, like, right now, I'm in my own like, in a natural hair, like, this is what I wanna do, all these
yeah,
things. Oh, but you better believe I definitely still have a bucket of wigs
I
in my
love
closet ready to go just in
it.
case.
I love
Like,
that. I've always
it's
admired that.
I
'Cause it
think
took
that
me a second to get to wigs.
yeah, like, as Black women, we have so I mean, any race can, like, have the option and, like, the freedom, but, like, I feel like we're so versatile,
We
like
are.
and depending on what, like, industry you're in, what part of the country you're in, it's different. Like, when I'm out in California, having straight hair is more like, "Okay, this is, like" you a lot of Black people have straight hair out there.
Yeah.
When I come to New York, it's like, it's way cooler to have curly hair. It's like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to rock the freaking wave. Sometimes you just need to put on the wig after the show instead of a baseball
Totally.
cap. Like,
Totally.
like,
Absolutely.
so my next question for you is when you are going on an audition, I know it's been a while because we're in this pandemic right now.
Yeah.
What is your go-to, and it might be different per show, but
Yeah.
like, what is your go-to for your hair? Like, do you throw
Yeah.
on a wig? Do you like put your natural hair in a bun? Like, what does Destinee do?
Yeah. Well, my go-to is typically like I'll do a wash and go and put clip-ins in. That's like my go-to. Because it's so easy and like or actually this is a whole nother conversation because I was not prepared for 8 show a week hair where you're always in prep. So you have to fit like because I didn't wear wigs. So I was like, whoa. So
Right.
anyway, clip-ins typically are my go-to. And I use Zuri's Zuri
Yeah,
starts
Zuri?
with a Z. Zuri Natural Star clip-ins
Oh,
that you can get from the beauty supply store. But I also have some that I ordered from um another company. I'll have to remember what they're called, but like they're on Instagram. Um
okay.
and so clip-ins. And then so that's what I typically do. I will say though, once I started Tina, um I got a wig made by Monique, Snatch and Wigs, who's in our
Nice.
company. And I tried it for an audition and I was like, this might be the way because it's
Right.
great. It's easy. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do anything to my hair.
Yeah,
And
nothing. I love a
yeah,
wig. Honestly, like, I mean, I've been trying to wear my natural hair out as much as possible lately,
yeah,
but there is some part of me that is especially if I wanna wear my hair straight instead of
yeah.
straightening my hair these days,
Oh,
throwing on a straight hair wig feels such like a good
seriously.
compromise, like, you have the look, no
Yeah,
heat,
right.
like
I
so
mean,
I'm still trying to
honestly, I hadn't I had I've never straightened my hair on my own. Like since I don't know, maybe college, like I just don't wear my hair straight unless I go to the salon and they straighten it to cut it.
yeah.
So, I got a straight haired wig made during Tina and I was like, "Oh, this is a game changer cuz now I can have this look and it's no work at all.
And no
No
work.
one knows."
And then you can take it off at the end of the day and be like,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
I will say that I did have an audition. I took an audition class, or like actually a TV film class, and it was a game changer for me. I'm not going to say her name just in case if I'm about to get her in trouble, but the casting director who taught the class was amazing. And I say she's amazing because she was so real and transparent with me. And one of my classes that I had with her, I came in with my like straight hair, wig, bob. It was like totally laid. I was super glamorous because I was going to a meeting after the class.
Yeah.
And I felt like $1,010,000. And I went up to the front of the class to present. And she was like, "Stop, stop, stop. You're you're not yourself." I was like, "What? What?" She's like, "I think it's your hair. I think your hair is messing you up." I'm like, and it caught me off guard. Like,
Yeah.
wait, what? And I told her, I was like, "I want you to tell me everything that you're thinking right now because
Wow.
I'm giving you permission to tell me because no one else has ever said anything
Totally.
about, like, especially on that side of the table." So that is on me. Like, I absolutely let her have the floor. And she
Yeah.
said, "Your hair, like the hair that you have on, it looks great, but your personality is different and
Mm.
it's not like conducive to the scene."
Yeah.
And so I asked her, "Tell me more." And she said that if she was casting and if she has two actors that are both equally talented, she likes both, and she knows that one is wearing a wig and the other one is not, and she knows that they might, she said, and this is why I'm not going to say her name because I know she might get in
This
trouble
is
for this.
deep.
She said, "I'm going to go with the person who I know what their hair looks like just in case, because if I cast the person with the wig and I don't know what's underneath, it's a conversation that I don't know. It's a conversation that I don't want to have because I don't want to get in trouble."
Wow. That is so deep.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, no one has ever had the freaking balls to
Right.
say that.
Right.
And for the first time ever, I was like, I need to figure out what is underneath my own wig
Yeah.
because just in case if
Yeah.
I'm in that situation where I'm like, I might book this TV show, but they have no idea what my hair looks like. It's different from musical theater because we're most of the time in wigs 8 times a week. And
Right.
if we're not, we can negotiate it. Like,
Right.
but for
Yeah.
TV, commercials, film, it's a little bit different. And that's a world that I am not as familiar with.
Totally.
And so I was so open to like hearing her say this and letting her know that I am not offended because I want
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah. It's just crazy because it's like that is something that we as Black women do struggle with in audition settings
Yeah.
is knowing how much work it takes to put into our hair, and we want to show up for the audition, right? So if I have 3 hours in the morning, I would rather work on those sides than to be in the shower trying to get my hair together so that it might look like what you need it to look like, So
Might.
it's like, it's such a thing for us. And I'm glad she said it because it does confirm that, like, our hair does matter in that room as much as like
Yeah.
as much as no one ever talks about it on that side of the table.
Right.
You are looking at our hair, and the truth is you don't know what's going on. I might have a hair condition, I might have alopecia, and so
Yeah.
this is what I'm wearing because it makes me feel good.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
it is problematic, like that mindset, because you don't know what I have going on under here, and you don't know what I have going under here that may keep me from doing the work to show up just as good as the girl with the natural hair.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
but at the
Absolutely.
same time, it is something that like we wrestle with, and I do want to be comfortable with both what's under here
Hmm.
and just letting you have that, and I want to be comfortable with my purple wig if that's what
Yes.
I have on,
Yes. Yes.
you know?
Absolutely.
So
So like,
it's like it's a both and, like, that's the work that I'm doing, but I also need you as a casting director to do the historical work to understand why a Black woman might be wearing a wig. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
it's not always because I want to become the character that I think this person is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it
There's
has
so
nothing to
much.
do with that. you know?
Right. Absolutely. And for me, sometimes it is just convenience. Like,
Yes.
that is the biggest thing for me is like leaving beautiful. I was like a baseball hat or a wig. Like doing my own hair
Yeah.
after a show. I'm like, oh,
Oh my
man, I'll be
gosh,
here an
I'm
extra
not taking this prep down.
30 minutes. Like, yes, an extra
That
30
was
minutes.
huge for me because so I went into Mormon, which has problematic hair stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like the concept around like Nabalungi having a certain texture hair and everybody else not having that type of hair, and she's supposed to be the
Interesting.
most beautiful. So her,
Uh,
like
oh,
it's a whole conversation of its own. And when I went
mm,
into Beautiful, I wore my own hair. Now I have like a 4A, 4B hair, strands of 3C sometimes. And
okay.
so when I went in, the note was my hair looked too much like Nabalungi's. So I needed a wig. And so I then had to go into getting wig prepped every day. So one, like that is so problematic that is a that it's not thought of. It's just kind of how the way the show flows, but how that
Yeah.
is internalized as Black women that are a part of the show.
Yeah.
But because no one is Black on the team, no one's thinking about how that may be internalized
Ooh.
and
I think
how the next person to replace me, you're like, oh yeah, you can wear your own hair. Like that is problematic,
I feel like say the dang thing, Destiny.
you
Like
know?
that's a real thing.
Yeah. So that's one conversation. But the other thing was once I went into wearing wigs, I was like, oh, how do people do this? If you have 8 shows a week and you always have to be in wig every night, I'm not taking this out. I'm not taking these cornrows out every single day.
Right. Right.
So I was like,
That's
what do people do? So I learned at that time, I was like, wearing like I would put clip-ins in and like adjust my hair so that I could pull it out and like sweep it over. And then
yeah.
eventually I met the queen of wigs at Tina, my
Geo.
homegirl.
Oh
Oh,
no.
there are
Wait, multiple queens.
queens of
Who's the
multiple
queen?
people who just like make wigs look like they just slay them, And I was like, I have to get one. And then I was like, oh, this is how people do it.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's
a
like I want to go on a date, and I had never worn a wig around a guy and
yeah.
have their own thing about Black women, their own opinions about Black women's hair. And so it's just all an adjustment.
Ah. It's all an adjustment and trying on these different hats.
Yes,
Hats. LOL.
totally.
But yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I miss Broadway. Even like talking about this, the good, the bad, the ugly, like all of it. I'm like, oh, remembers. Like I remember thinking about that on the beautiful tour. Like I, Destiny, this is gross, but like I was when I discovered wigs, I put a wig prep in, and I was like, I'm in wig prep all the time, and I just stayed in wig prep for like a couple months.
Yes.
Like I didn't take it out. I was like, that's nasty. I'm like, people on tour had no idea what my natural hair
Oh
looked
my
like.
gosh, Salisha,
That's
that is
nasty.
hilarious.
Yeah, the hair person was like,
Girl, just mad it.
you need to wash this. I was like, that means I gotta take my wig prep out.
Hilarious.
That's gross. That's gross. But anyway, okay, so I want to wrap this thing up. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming out. One before I let you go, I want to ask you, what is one thing that's keeping you going and that you're grateful for
Oh my gosh.
during this crazy time of life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have incredible community. My friends are like the bomb. And on top of that, through Tina, I have developed a bond with um some of my castmates, and we meet regularly. We're part of one another's lives. And it just was when that happens in a show, it is special, but and it's rare, but going through the same thing with people and being close with them, it just helps. It helps so much. Last
Yeah.
night we saw the news about the Met and how they're not opening back up until September. And I immediately called them and we just prayed together, And I was like, this is so special because I'm not alone, and knowing that I can immediately send a text and like, hey, y'all, did you see the news?
Yeah.
And somebody else is like, let's hop on the phone and pray because
Yeah.
I don't want to go crazy,
Right.
And so I'm grateful for that. That's one thing that is keeping me together. What was the other question?
Just what you're grateful for. That was,
Oh,
yeah.
what I'm grateful for. So my micro grateful thing that I will have to share because I'm so proud is the new iPhone update that has home screen edits. So I'm obsessed with, right, this is my current obsession, is organizing my home screen to like help me to be more productive and go to the things that I need to go to and away from the things that I need to go away from.
Is Facebook and Instagram on your home screen?
No. Um, yeah, so I'm grateful for that in a micro way. And in a macro way, I'm just grateful that I have survived and that I'm still here and enjoying life. And we're in 7 months into this pandemic. So I'm grateful,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. I love that. I love you.
I love
Thank you for
you.
joining us. I think you're the
Yes.
bomb, Destiny.
Likewise. And
Oh,
I'm so excited for you.
thank
So excited.
you. I love you. Thank you for partying with me today.
Yay.
See you, girl.
Bye.
Bye.